Hi, I'm Alex from Sunray Stained Glass. Welcome to the final video in our series of techniques videos. In our last episode we finished leading up and soldering our little panel on both sides. So now we need to cement it. Cementing is most people's least favourite stage of making a window, but it is a necessary one. The cement not only waterproofs the panel, it also gives it a lot of rigidity and strength. The cement we use is called lead-lite cement. It's kind of black goo and it's quite messy to use, so I'm going to put on some latex gloves just to keep my hands clean. And I've got a little wooden board which I can put my project on, just so I don't get my work surface too dirty. So you need to get your cement prepared before you use it. If you put a new tub of cement, it will need mixing. There's oil in the cement which tends to rise to the top, and you'll find the bottom of the cement usually goes a bit hard, so you need to give it a really good mix with a stick. Even better if you have some kind of mixing rod that you can attach to a drill, that does a good job. And you need an appropriate brush. So I've got a brush like this, that just synthetic bristles. I'll do the job quite well. So we need to get a little bit of cement on our brush, and I'm going to massage it in to every single part of the window. The aim is to get the cement forced into all the gaps between our glass and our lead channel. All of that needs to be completely filled with cement, and you want to make sure you haven't got any gaps anywhere. If this window is going to face the elements, any little gaps might let water through and you'll get a leak in your window. So check it from different angles, get down and look at it, and make sure you fill every little bit. So here we go. Just apply some cement, rub it in everywhere. This is quite a mess. You can kind of pick up a lot of the excess with the brush. Just make sure the cement's forced in to every little place. So when you get your panel looking something like this, and most of the excess cement has been lifted off with the brush, you're ready to apply your whiting. Of course, before you do that, check from a few different angles that you've completely filled all of the lead channel. So we're going to apply a bit of whiting. Whiting is simply chalk dust. So we're just going to sprinkle a bit of that on the top. That'll be enough. Now I'm going to use a brush just to rub that in. The whiting will absorb some of the oil and moisture from the lead-lite cement and help it set. Now brushing the whiting into all the cemented areas. So now our panel looks like this. I'm going to get a second brush. It's the same as my cementing brush, but this is a clean one. Brush this over. So that brushing has removed most of the excess cement that was left, rubbed in all the whiting, and the whiting has absorbed any of that excess and it's allowed it to kind of crumble away. So now we're ready to repeat that whole process on the other side. Obviously both sides have to be cemented, so same again. And that's the reverse side complete. A little bit of cement's oozed out the other side. That's nothing to worry about. If you want to avoid that, you can stagger the side, do one day, let it go off a little bit, do the next one the other day. But it's not really a problem. We're going to come back to this anyway and give the whole thing a thorough clean and a polish. But we need to allow about 2 days, 1 or 2 days for the cement to go off before we can do that. So I'm just going to put it by, come back to that in a couple of days and we'll finish. It's now allowed 2 days for the lead light cement to harden in my project and it's ready to clean up. So first thing we need to do is where the lead light cement is oozed out from the edges a little bit, I'm going to get a sharpened piece of wood and run it around the edge of all the panes of glass just to take off that excess cement. So we'll do that now. If you leave your project too long between the last stage and this one, it'll be quite hard to get that off. So 3 days is probably the longest that you'd want to leave it. So I've gone around the edge of every piece of glass on one side now. I'm left with a lot of crumbled, dried up lead light cement, so I'm just going to use a vacuum cleaner to clean that up. Now I'm happy I've scraped off all the excess cement. I can polish the window. To do that, you need 2 brushes, and I'm going to use this. This is called black grape polish. I'm going to use a little bit of this, I only need a very tiny bit. It will just blacken up the lead and polish the glass at the same time. Put a little dab of that on my brush and work it into the window. Now I've applied my polish with the first brush. You see this one's quite black because I use this one for putting the polish on. I'm just going to give it a final brush over with a slightly longer haired brush, which is cleaner, and that will just pick off any extra polish and any bit of dirt, clear all that off. And there we have our window cleaned on one side. You have to repeat that whole process on the back. Now I've finished giving the window a thorough clean and it's looking pretty good. In most cases when we're making a window, that would be the final stage, it would now be complete. The only thing we may need to do might be to add some copper ties, so strengthening bars could be attached to the window when it's fitted. A window of this size wouldn't need it. One like the window behind me, when that's fitted it'll have some kind of structural bars going across it, which will be tied on with copper ties. So the copper ties are just a bit of copper wire, and you just solder them on to your solder joins in the appropriate places to coincide with the bar. We're not going to do that on this window, it doesn't need them, but what I am going to do is put a couple of little loops of copper on the top 2 corners so I can hang it up in a window like the one behind me. So to do that, I've got these snipe nose pliers, and these are quite good for making a loop in the copper because you can just grab and bend the copper round and it'll give you a nice loop shape, and then cut it off. And I can also use these pliers to hold the loop while I solder it in place. So I've got a couple of loops ready. I'm just going to need to open up the top channel lead here with my fit. So I'll do that now. I'm just going to add a little bit of flux to each one of my wires. I've got some flux here, I'm just going to dip it in. And then I'm going to add a little dab of solder to each one on the table here. Add a little bit of flux to the area where the loops are going to go. I've just added a little bit of solder to the window as well. So I've got my loop in this hand, I'm going to hold it with the pliers and just hold the iron on. There we go. That's one. And then the same over here. I can use my fid to flatten down that top lead again. Now we have a couple of little copper loops on which we can hang our window. For your stained glass tools and supplies, please visit our shop. You can find that online at www.sunrise@stained-windows.co.uk. To add a real wow factor to your stained glass work, why not try incorporating some of our hand-painted glass roundels? These are all original designs by the Sunrise Stained Glass Studio, and you won't find them anywhere else. Each one is hand-painted, enamelled and stained by our resident master glass painter, Jude Tarrant. A range of 6 different bird designs and 2 different English country scene designs are available. All of these roundels are eligible for UK-wide free posting, and international shipping at cost is also available. To view the full range, please visit our website www.sunriseglass.co.uk. Here's an example of 2 of the roundels which have been incorporated into a leaded window. Brilliant cuts and glory stars. And hand-spun glass bullions in a range of sizes and colours are also available and suitable for postage. We also stock large, clear glass bullions which can be cut to size. As well as this, we stock a range of glass jewels which can be incorporated into your work. And that concludes this series of tutorials from Sunrise Stained Glass. I hope you've learned something valuable. Thanks for watching.